I never imagined I'd be telling this story from behind bars. I never thought I'd be the man who destroyed 3 lives in a single moment. People always looked at me as the hero, the protector, the good guy. And now, I'm inmate 47829, serving 15 years for aggravated assault. My name is Marcus Chen. I'm 34 years old, and this is the story of how I came home from deployment with hope in my heart and walked into a nightmare that ended with 2 gunshots and 3 shattered lives. I still see that moment every time I close my eyes. The look on her face, the shock in his, the weight of the gun in my hand. It plays on repeat, like a movie I can't turn off. But maybe I should start from the beginning, because this isn't just about what happened that day. It's about everything that led up to it. My wife's name is Elena. We met when I was 25, fresh out of basic training, stationed at Fort Campbell. She was working at a coffee shop near base, studying nursing part-time. Beautiful smile, kind eyes, the type of woman who remembered your order and asked about your day. We fell fast and hard, the way young people do when they think love can conquer anything. We got married within a year. Small ceremony, just family and a few friends. I wore my dress uniform. She wore a simple white dress from a boutique downtown. We couldn't afford much, but it didn't matter. We had each other, and that felt like enough. Then our daughter arrived 2 years later, Sophia. 5 pounds, 7 ounces of pure perfection. Dark hair like her mother, my stubborn chin. Elena said she had my determination from day one, never stopped crying until she got what she wanted. Watching Elena become a mother, that changed something in me. Made me want to be better, do better, provide more. If you're still watching, subscribe to the channel for more videos. The bigger the channel gets, the more crime stories we can tell. Subscribe now. But military life isn't easy on marriages. Everyone tells you that going in, but you don't really understand until you're living it. The long deployments, the missed birthdays and anniversaries, the constant worry. Elena handled it better than most. She was strong, independent, capable. She had to be. What I never told her, what I could barely admit to myself, was how much the deployments were breaking me too. See, I didn't come from stability. I didn't come from love and family dinners and parents who tucked you in at night. I was 8 years old when I lost them, both of them, in one night. A drunk driver on Highway 40, coming back from a weekend trip to visit my grandmother. I was supposed to be in that car. I begged to go. But I had a fever, so they left me with the neighbors. Sometimes I wonder if that's why I push so hard to save everyone now, guilt that I'm alive when they're not. After that, it was the state system. Foster homes that smelled like cigarette smoke and disappointment. Families that took you in for the check, not the kid. I learned early that trust was dangerous, that people leave, that you're always one mistake away from being unwanted again. The only place I ever felt like I belonged was the military. Structure, purpose, brotherhood. They didn't care where you came from, only what you could do. So I gave them everything, every ounce of strength, loyalty, discipline I had. And when I met Elena, she became the first person since my parents who made me feel like I had a home again. Not a place, a person. She was my home. Sophia was my home. And I would have done anything to protect them. That's why, when I got deployed to Afghanistan for my 3rd tour, I made sure they'd be taken care of. We just moved to a new neighborhood in Northern Virginia, a quiet street with actual trees and kids riding bikes. Elena didn't know many people yet, and I hated the thought of her being alone with Sophia while I was gone for 9 months. That's when I met Derek Powell, our neighbor, 3 houses down, mid-40s, divorced, worked from home doing something in finance. He was friendly from day one, helped us move boxes, brought over beer, offered to mow our lawn while I was deployed. "Man, you focus on keeping our country safe," he said, shaking my hand. "I'll keep an eye on your family here. That's what neighbors do." I trusted him. God help me. I trusted him completely. He had this easy way about him, like a cool uncle. Sophia liked him. He'd bring her coloring books, help Elena fix things around the house when they broke. He was exactly what I needed, someone reliable, someone I could count on when I was 7,000 miles away, sleeping in a tent and wondering if an IED had my name on it. Before I left for Afghanistan, I sat Derek down in our living room. Elena was putting Sophia to bed. I looked him in the eye and said, I need you to promise me something. If anything happens while I'm gone, anything you call me, you look after them. Elena's too proud to ask for help sometimes, but if she needs something, you step up. Can you do that? He clapped me on the shoulder. Brother, they're in good hands. You have my word. His word. I believed it like gospel. Deployment was hell, like it always is. The heat, the sand, the constant tension of knowing every step could be your last. But what got me through the worst days was FaceTime calls with Elena and Sophia. Seeing Sophia's drawings, she'd hold up to the camera. Hearing Elena tell me about her day, even if it was just grocery shopping and cartoons. She always looked tired, though, more tired each month. I asked her about it once. Babe, you okay? You look exhausted. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. I'm fine. Just Sophia's been having nightmares. I'm not sleeping great. But we're managing. Derek helping out? Yeah, she said, looking away from the camera. Yeah, he's been around. Something in her voice felt off. But I told myself I was imagining things. Paranoia from being in a war zone. Your mind plays tricks on you when you're that far from home. What I didn't know, what I couldn't know, was that Derek had started coming around more, much more, offering to watch Sophia so Elena could run errands, bringing dinner over since he'd made too much, sitting on our couch, drinking our coffee, filling the space I'd left empty. Elena told me later, much later, that it started innocent. He was kind, attentive, asked how she was doing, not just how things were going. And after months of handling everything alone, working, parenting, worrying about me getting killed, she was lonely, desperately, achingly lonely. He made me feel seen again, she said through tears during one of our prison visits. I know that sounds stupid. I know it doesn't excuse anything. But Marcus, I was drowning, and he was the only person asking if I needed help breathing. I don't know exactly when it crossed the line. Elena won't give me details, and honestly, I don't want them. But I know it happened more than once. I know it happened in our home, in our bed, while our daughter slept down the hall and I was getting shot at defending people who didn't even want us there. The betrayal wasn't just her. It was him, the man I trusted, the man I asked to protect them. I came home in March, 2 weeks earlier than expected. They'd moved up our return date after a ceasefire was negotiated. I didn't tell Elena. I wanted to surprise her. I pictured her face when I walked through that door, pictured Sophia screaming, "Daddy!" and jumping into my arms. I stopped at the grocery store on the way home from base, bought her favorite flowers, white roses, picked up Sophia's favorite cookies, the expensive ones with the chocolate chips. I felt lighter than I had in months. I was home. I was finally home. It was 2:47 inches the afternoon when I pulled into our driveway. I remember checking the time because I was hoping Sophia hadn't been picked up from preschool yet. I wanted to surprise her too. Derek's car was in our driveway. I thought, that's nice. He's probably helping Elena with something. Still trusting? Still believing? I unlocked the door quietly, wanting the surprise to be perfect. The house was silent. No TV. No voices. I set down the flowers on the kitchen counter and walked toward the bedroom, thinking maybe Elena was napping. That's when I heard it. A sound that turned my blood to ice. Her voice, his voice, coming from our bedroom. Have you ever had a moment where time just stops? Where your brain can't process what's happening because it's too impossible, too wrong? I stood in that hallway for what felt like an hour, but was probably 5 seconds. Part of me wanted to turn around, walk out, pretend I hadn't heard it, but my feet kept moving. Muscle memory from years of walking toward danger instead of away from it. I opened the door. Elena was in our bed. Our bed, the one we'd picked out together at IKEA, the one where I'd held her during thunderstorms, where we'd conceived our daughter, and Derek was there with her. My neighbor, my friend, the man I'd trusted with everything. They didn't see me at first. Then Elena's eyes met mine, and I watched her face go from pleasure to confusion to absolute horror in less than a second. "Marcus," she started. Pulling the sheet up, her voice strangled. Derek turned, saw me, and scrambled backward like I was a grenade. "Jesus, Marcus, man, I can explain." But there was nothing to explain. I could see everything. I could see exactly what had been happening in my home, in my bed, with my wife and the man I'd asked to protect her. Something inside me snapped. Not anger, not rage, something colder, something that had been living in me since I was 8 years old and learned that the people you trust most can be taken from you in an instant. I don't remember walking to the closet. I don't remember unlocking the gun safe. But suddenly the weight was in my hand, my service pistol, the one I'd carried through 3 deployments. The one I'd used to defend people, to protect. "Marcus, put the gun down." Elena's voice, shaking, pleading. "Please, think about Sophia." Sophia, our daughter, the little girl who drew me pictures of princesses and soldiers, who told everyone her daddy was a hero. What kind of hero was I now? "You," I said, looking at Derek. My voice didn't sound like mine. "I asked you for one thing. One thing. Take care of them. Keep them safe." "Marcus, please." He had his hands up, backing toward the window. "Still naked. Still in my house. You were supposed to be my friend." My hand was shaking. "I trusted you. I asked you. I begged you to look after them. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. It just happened. We didn't mean—" "You didn't mean to?" The words came out like venom. "You didn't mean to sleep with my wife? In my bed? While I was deployed? While I was getting shot at?" Elena was crying now, big, gasping sobs. "Marcus, please. I know you're angry. I know I destroyed everything. But please don't do this. Please. I wish I could tell you I was in control. I wish I could say I made a conscious decision. But the truth is, in that moment, I wasn't Marcus Chen, husband and father. I was 8-year-old Marcus who'd lost everything. I was every foster kid who learned trust was a lie. I was every soldier who'd been betrayed by the people back home. The first shot hit Derek in the shoulder. He went down screaming, blood spreading across his chest. Elena screamed, "Marcus, stop!" The second shot hit him in the leg. He was on the floor now, writhing, crying, begging. I stood there, with the gun still raised, and for a moment, just a moment, I thought about a third shot. The one that would end it. End him. End the betrayal. But then I heard it. A small voice from the doorway. "Daddy?" Sophia, home early from preschool, standing in the doorway in her little pink dress with the flowers on it, holding her backpack, staring at me like I was a stranger. The gun fell from my hand. Everything after that is a blur. Elena screaming, calling 911, Derek bleeding on our bedroom floor, me on my knees, not able to look at my daughter. Police sirens, handcuffs. Sophia crying as they led me away. "Daddy didn't mean it, baby. Daddy didn't mean it." But I did mean it. That's the worst part. In that moment, I meant every bullet. Derek survived. Both shots. He spent 3 weeks in the hospital and another 2 months in physical therapy. He testified at my trial, limping to the stand, his lawyer making sure the jury saw every wince, every difficulty. My lawyer tried for temporary insanity, PTSD, extreme emotional disturbance. The judge was sympathetic. I had a clean record, 3 tours of duty, a Bronze Star. But 2 bullets don't fire themselves. I made a choice. Several choices, actually. Mr. Chen, the judge said during sentencing, I understand your pain. I understand your sense of betrayal. But the law does not allow us to shoot people, no matter how justified we feel. You're a trained soldier. You knew better. 15 years. I got 15 years. With good behavior, maybe 10. Elena divorced me while I was awaiting trial. I didn't fight it. What was the point? I destroyed our marriage the moment I pulled that trigger. She moved back to California with Sophia. She writes sometimes. Short letters, mostly about Sophia. She never mentions Derek. I don't ask. Sophia doesn't visit. Elena says she's scared of me now. Doesn't understand why Daddy hurt someone. Doesn't understand why Daddy's in prison. She's 8 now. The same age I was when I lost my parents. History has a cruel way of repeating itself. Derek moved away. Last I heard, he's in Arizona. He sued me in civil court, won a settlement I'll be paying off for the rest of my life. Sometimes I wonder if he thinks about that day. If he has nightmares. If he wishes he'd made different choices. But mostly, I wonder about the man I used to be. The one who believed in honor, loyalty, protection. The one who thought he could control the darkness he'd carried since childhood. The one who thought love was enough. I sit in my cell at night, and I think about those white roses I left on the kitchen counter. They were probably dead before the police even finished processing the scene. $47 for flowers that never got seen, for a surprise that turned into a catastrophe. Do I regret pulling the trigger? Every single day. But in that moment, with my entire world exploding in front of me, I couldn't see past the rage, past the betrayal, past the broken 8-year-old inside me who'd learned that people you love will leave you one way or another. This is my story. Not one of heroism, not one of justice. Just a story of a soldier who survived 3 war zones but couldn't survive coming home. A story of broken trust and broken people and broken choices. I've got 8 more years until I'm eligible for parole. 8 more years of wondering if Sophia will ever forgive me, if she'll ever understand, if she'll grow up thinking her father is a monster. Maybe I am. Or maybe I'm just a man who loved too much and trusted too easily and broke too completely when it all came crashing down. The other inmates ask me sometimes, was it worth it? Would I do it again? I tell them no. I tell them nothing is worth losing your daughter, your freedom, your soul. But late at night, when the lights go out and I'm alone with my thoughts, I'm not sure that's true, because in that moment, seeing them together, I wasn't thinking about consequences. I was thinking about betrayal, about being invisible, about every person who'd ever abandoned me. And I wanted them to hurt the way I was hurting. They say time heals all wounds, but some wounds don't heal. They just scar. You learn to live with the pain. You learn to carry it, especially when you're the one who caused it. This is my confession, my truth, my consequence. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for understanding. I'm just telling you what happens when a good man breaks, when trust shatters, when love turns to rage in the space of a heartbeat. 2 shots, 15 years, 1 destroyed family. That's what happened when this soldier came home and found his neighbor in his bed, and I'll spend every day for the rest of my life wishing I'd just walked away. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. The bigger the channel gets, the more crime stories we can tell. Subscribe now.